Speak to Peter this morning. He's on a golf course in India. Can't get hold of him at the moment. We'll keep trying, though. Sarah in East Yorkshire has called in. Sarah, so you're 37 years old, and you say you've got a serious addiction to Coca-Cola like poor Peter had.
Yeah, that's right.
So go on, how much?
On a bad day, it can be up to 12 cans a day.
But how long has it been like that?
About 15 years.
So this is what's known as full-fat Coke, but we mean sort of full-sugar Coca-Cola.
Yeah, full fat, the proper stuff.
And have you tried to give it up?
Yeah, I've tried to cut down the horrendous headaches, stomach cramps, irritability, can't sleep, snapping at everybody. So you just give in and have some more.
So what would you advise people in your position to do? But not that you found a solution yourself.
I did text him once before when it was a late night issue about it, and it was a nutritionist lady on, and she said to cut down, not to stop completely, because that's worse for you, but to cut down, and don't substitute it for diet drinks either.
But that's confusion advice in itself, isn't it? Surely you'd be better off with a diet drink. I know they've got funny sweeteners in and whatnot, but surely that'd be better than filling yourself full of sugar like this.
She said there was something in the diet drinks that your kidneys can't process, and it builds up in your body, and it's a cancer-causing chemical.
Right, but surely that's better than the absolute mountain of sugar that you're taking on board.
It maybe is, but you still get the withdrawal if you're on the diet.
Okay, just stay with us, Sarah, if you can. Jackie Ballan is from Ellesmere Port in Cheshire. You were in a similar situation to Sarah, Jackie.
Yes, I was. I was on the full sugar Coke back in the early 90s, but I was drinking 10 litres a day. And obviously, with the vast amount of sugar intake, unfortunately, I ended up quite obese. So my doctor advised me to switch to Diet Coke at the time, and I haven't been able to get off Diet Coke since.
But it's on 10 litres of fluid a day, whatever you're drinking. You must have spent the other half of the day on the toilet, I would have thought.
Well, funny enough, not as much. I'm quite shocked myself. I just put it down to my body is used to drinking so much liquid. I don't go to the toilet excessively. But it does tend to, I do have days where I hardly eat anything because you do feel bloated. Okay, my weight's been kept down, but it's the other side effects now because I can't, although I'm not on 10 litres a day now of the diet, it's just other side effects of my health. Obviously, with the ingredients.
So just to be clear now, having been drinking 10 litres of Coke a day, you're now drinking what? Diet Coke or some ordinary Coke?
I'm on Diet Coke. I can only drink the Diet Coke, and I'm having about 4 1.75 litre bottles a day, and that's not including the small 500ml bottles, which I have to carry around with me if I go shopping or do the school run. I have to have some on my possession, otherwise I start panicking, and it's not nice. I get, as the other lady said, you get irritable, and mine's in short spells. I can't go an hour without having any.
So before you were addicted to the sugar, so what are you addicted to now, do you think?
I think there's an ingredient in there that's obviously in both, because there's a huge amount of people that are addicted to Coke and Diet Coke, so there must be something that's in the product itself jointly, and that is causing addictions. It's just unfortunately for the diet drinks, it's the aspartame and the phosphoric acid that is doing the damage to people's health. And if you have an addiction, it is so hard to come off it, to stop. I'm happy I've reduced it down, but I won't be happy until I'm off it completely. It's just an awful thing to do. If you're a smoker and you go to the GP, they'll give you patches to help come off cigarettes. If you're on drugs, they'll give you meth to help you come off those. If you are obese, I'll give you a diet plan and help you through that. But anything with soft drinks, they're not interested to help you to come off it, even though it is an addiction.
I'm bound
Alcoholics are put on a programme,
Yeah.
but we don't seem to get any sort of help along that line.
I'm bound to say that millions do drink Cokes, Diet Coke and ordinary Coke all day, every day, without being addicted, though. So, it's not necessarily something that's in there, or it certainly doesn't affect the majority of people.
Well, some people tend to only drink maybe 1 or 2 a day anyway, which I don't think would be enough to start an addiction. I think it's if they say maybe have 6 or 7 cans a day, then they're on the start to have an addiction, because it slowly increases, and then before you know it, you've had 2 2-litre bottles that day, and you're like, and it just progresses from there. Okay. And I think your body gets used to the ingredients too. So you do shake, you do get tremors, it's irritable, can't sleep. It's just awful.
Let's speak to Robin Ireland, Chief Executive of the Health Inequalities Group, which is what, Robin, briefly?
We're a charity based in Liverpool, in fact, Adrian, yeah.
And this is about what, though, Shona?
Well, we've launched today, and I've been listening to those stories thinking, oh, my goodness, I mean, that really is the extreme end, isn't it? And you're quite right. Most people probably just have a can or 2 a day. We've launched a campaign today called Give Up Loving Pop, and that, I guess, is more aimed at those people that perhaps may be having small amounts. We're particularly concerned about children, parents with children, because the amount of sugar that children are taking in through sugary drinks is incredibly scary. And I don't think people are aware of the impact it can have on their health. Those stories we've just heard are very much the extreme end on a less scary bit, but the problems we have with obesity, with diabetes in later life, with teeth, that's the impact sugary drinks have on us.
But the trouble is, the advice says you arguably not that much better having a diet drink instead, having a Diet Coke or Diet Orange or whatever.
Well, I have to say that if you were asking my view on what to have, I'd say, have water or a low-fat milk. That would certainly be better. But I have to say also that I would be absolutely fine if people went on to a low-cal fizzy drink. That's going to be better, certainly. If you're going to make a change, that's one step in the right direction. I'm less worried about the sweeteners that people were talking about there. There's little evidence, really, that sweeteners are going to have that impact that people were talking about. But, of course, they're always individuals. But, yeah, water and low-fat milk is a heck of a lot better. This sugar addiction that people are talking about, of course, that's right across a whole series of products, not just drinks.
Jackie, can I ask you about your kids? What do you do about their intake?
Well, I did used to buy diet like Limeade, Cherryade, pops like that, but I have stopped buying those. Now it's only on a very rare occasion. Luckily, three of mine, they do tend to drink a lot of water. Other than that, I tend to stick to juice. But again, they don't drink that constantly. It may only be with their meal. But I certainly don't give them any diet drinks anymore.
Sarah, have you been to see a GP about your addiction?
I have. I mentioned it once, and it was just basically cut down. That was it.
But I think you could probably work that one out for yourself, couldn't you?
Yeah. I don't need a doctor to tell me that.
Jackie, what advice would you give to Sarah?
Sarah, you on the full fat, did you say? Yeah. I basically just try half a can a week to try and minimise. That's what I've been doing for the past 12 months on the Diet Coke, because, I was on between 8 and 10 litres of that then. And I just each week cut down a little bit more. But I'm sort of stuck at the minute on my 4 bottles a day, along with the smaller ones. But I'm determined to try and, beat it. Other than that, all I can suggest is to other people to stay away from it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not. It's not nice to feel so tired because you've had no sleep. I've anemic now, which I have been for a very long time. It's just not nice at all. No. So just try on a weekly or fortnightly basis to try and cut down that little bit more.
Okay, Sarah, wish you well with that.
Thank
keep
you.
in touch. Thank you very much. And Jackie, thank you very much indeed to you too. And
Okay.
good luck continuing